Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Final Fantasy Randomizer League match. These are our Stage 3 pretty black belt flags. We are in race number 6, I believe, and I'm joined by my co-host, Maya. Maya, say hello to the good people out there.
Hi, everyone. These flags are my fault, so please send your hate mail immediately to the Final Fantasy League Randomizer offices. But in all honesty, I hope we have a really fun race tonight. Sforzando, what are you looking for tonight?
I would like to see... So the goal of this game is to hold one of every bracelet. That includes the copper bracelet, the silver bracelet, the gold bracelet, and the opal bracelet. The previous 3 you can buy at a shop randomly somewhere in the world, but that 4th one you have to open a bunch of chests and scatter the contents all over the floor looking for that shiny opal bracelet. Me personally, I would like to see it in that C-shaped room in Sea Shrine. You know, that chest.
That chest sounds fantastic. Looks like the race has already started, and the racers have already got a kick in the nads from level 8 Nuke. But to sort of soften the blow a little bit, they did find Harm 4 at level 2. So at least they'll be able to kill undead relatively easily.
One of the more interesting points of this flag set is the Magic Shop Shuffle being turned on. So not only are the levels of the spells themselves randomized, but their location in the world is also randomized. This can make things quite difficult at the beginning for some of our racers.
We're on board with 3 of our racers tonight. We have another 10 or 11 that are off-screen also running these flags tonight. We have Bismarck 189 up in the upper right, running with a double red mage strat to go along with his fighter and his black belt. Len the Cat, can't see his party at the... There it is. He's got a thief in his party, and SBQ92 is running with 2 thieves. What do you think of these party comps, Sforzando?
I'm a huge fan of the double thief comp. In this particular flag set, you hope that you don't have to fight anything major, and the goal is just to run away from everything. Get maybe level 6, level 7, something where you might be able to take a little bit of a hit, and then try and run away from almost everything possible.
We're watching our runners start to look at their first few chests of the game. Do remember that the major chest that you're looking to open is the one that contains the opal bracelet. There is only one unique opal bracelet in the entire game, and you're going to need it in order to dot done. And so these seeds tend to devolve into a mad scramble through various different dungeons, running and searching for that opal bracelet. But at the very beginning of the game, the flag set has thrown a real challenge at our racers in that the enemies are super strong and brutally Magic Shop Shuffle is on. And you want to explain what that is?
Yeah, the Magic Shop Shuffle, in addition to the levels that are shuffled, their location is shuffled. In addition to all of that, the enemies' skills are shuffled, as well as their scripts. These imps just casted Bane. It was either the imps or the wolves. The wolves casted Bane on Len the Cat, who is struggling at the moment. The enemy values go up to 400% in hit points, in absorb, in attack rating, and so these are going to be some pretty tough monsters going forward.
Len the Cat down in the lower right is opening up 3 chests on the left side of the Temple of Fiends. We have seen these 3 chests. I believe SBQ got to them. Nothing really of interest in these 3 except a little bit of gold. And Bismarck is scrambling, trying to get over to Matoya's cave to find out the 3 chests that she has there.
I would almost not devalue anything below, above 1,000 gold. When you get over to Provoca, you really don't know what's over there, and so having even a little more gold is kind of nice.
And here come Bismarck's chests, another 3,700 gold, 3,000, and a cabin. Cabin's super useful in these seeds so that you can go ahead and save your game before you get over to Provoca. And so at least our runners won't be hurting for too much money once they get to Provoca and try to go shopping again.
It looks like Bismarck is going to save what he got in Matoya's back in Canaria, so he's not going to take very many risks as it relates to going across. And he needs a full party heal.
Len the Cat down on the lower right, taking a look at Garland. Garland is completely not needed in these seeds because all you're looking for is open a few chests so that you can dot done. But he's going to go ahead and try to take him out and gain a couple of levels here.
And he's also going to gain a warp back to Canaria Castle, which could be a little bit of a shortcut depending on how good this fight goes.
So far, Garland proving stout and not being knocked down quite yet. Of course, he looks like he hits like a wimp, too, with fighting back only for 1 damage at a time. Ah, there he went. So like we said, we have 3 featured runners here and another 10 or 11 that are running off screen. And so somebody will dot done at some point. But one of the things about these flags is that when somebody finishes the game in a regular seed, you can kind of tell from their progression maybe where a certain item is, or maybe how they progress through the game. But in these flags, when somebody dot dones, you have no idea what dungeon they were in, where they found the most likely the opal bracelet that allowed them to complete it, and it's a total sort of a mind mess for our runners.
Yeah, you have some general ideas of where the bulk chests are. You know that Volcano is going to have a fair amount of chests. I believe there are 33 in there. Sea Shrine has somewhere near the tune of 33. Earth Cave has 24. You kind of get a general sense of where the bulk chests are. But if somebody goes out of their way and finds it in such a small, unknown spot, yeah, you really can't know officially, where that is located.
SBQ92 is going to give us our first look at the pirates. No, he's not. He's going to go looking for armor first. Probably an intelligent thing to do. Iron armor available in Buckler. And we'll take a peek here in the item shop to see whether or not the bottle is available. But he did find super inexpensive tents, which will be useful for the overworld.
Yeah, those tents are going to help you travel with very few encounters to get in your way. Now he's doing the smart thing and saving his game before these pirates whip out something nasty against him.
And here come the pirates. Let's hope that they didn't roll with anything awful. Looks like that was... well, that's Stone Touch. Okay.
Well, this is going to get interesting, folks. Buckle up, because these pirates are not going to behave.
And so now all eyes will go back to the black magic shop in Provoca to see whether or not there was anything that's relatively available that any of these mages that we watch our runners be able to pick up. That might be one of the only ways that runners can get through this. I see Edstream in chat. They're noting that level 3 Zap was available.
Level 3 Zap, if you brought a red mage, I believe you're going to need 6 or 7. I believe it's 6 to cast a level 3 spell. Harm 4 might open a Peninsula of Power Grind if you need a couple of levels. It's not going to save you from the Stone Touch, but maybe some of these runners might feel it's necessary.
Yeah, and these seeds can result in, challenges like this, where you have to really think about the resources that the game presented to you in Caneria and in Provoca, so that you can get through this pirate encounter safely. There is probably a way forward, and we'll watch these 3 runners, see if they can figure this puzzle out. Len the Cat finding now that the pirates have Stone Touch, but he's going to go ahead and continue this and see if he can work his way through these enemies.
If he can get lucky, it seems like they have somewhat low accuracy. Unfortunately, when you get to hit 8 or 9 times, you need just enough.
So Len the Cat's party is turning into an attractive set of statuettes as we watch, and he's thinking now about what it is he wants to do. He's going to go ahead and reset out.
That party is an example of your brain on Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Len the Cat's going to give us another look at these magic shops. So, White Magic, you've got level 1 Cure 2 and level 1 Pure. Level 5 Invis could be useful, but is probably too far out of reach for this party. Hopefully you can peek back into the Black Magic side.
that cure 2 was not usable by his red mage either.
Oh, that's brutal.
And one of the rules of the flag set is you are not allowed to class change. So anything that is excluded from red mage is excluded from the game for you.
And now we're watching SBQ92 go ahead and angle for the Peninsula of Power, the old fabled Peninsula of Power that we all used to visit back in the 80s and 90s. It's back in play. We're going to go take a look and see if we can go kill some zombies.
As I said, we are following, I am following at least 9 other runners. A handful of them are also taking the Peninsula of Power grind. So it is definitely not, it's definitely an option that more players are going towards. I think the thing that's going to make or break this is do they remember and are they going to go back and get Zap at level 3?
Bismarck 189 finishing off some creeps, and is going to go ahead and, oh, I hope he saves his game before he goes to play with the Pirates again, after gaining a couple hard-fought levels there. So hello to everybody joining us. You're watching a seed of the Final Fantasy Randomizer League. This is the 3rd stage of an 8-stage set of challenge flags. The stage name is Pretty Black Belt. The object here is to find all 4 bracelets in the game, 1 copper, 1 silver, 1 gold, 1 opal, and then place them all on your black belt in order to finish the seed.
Yes, and so our players, as soon as they overcome the pirates obstacle, are going to dig deep into dungeons and just start ripping things out of chests and leaving them strewn about the ground as they desperately seek that one item that they're looking for to finish the game.
Yep, the wolves showing Bane up on Bismarck's screen, so nobody will be playing with the Rurus today.
Looks like SBQ's at a little bit of an advantage. He did manage to pick up that Zap that I believe was in Canaria. I don't remember if I saw it in Provoca.
When the cat's going to give another shot here now to the pirates. He's going to shuffle around some armor. He took his chain armor off for some reason.
The one downside to the Zombo fight is the Zombies are proving to be a little tough on the inside, and a little tough on the outside, too. With the double thief comp, he only has 1 player that can cast harm for. Question in chat, like the tournament last year, if they can't get past the Pirates by the 30-minute mark, they get a new seed, right? Maya, what do you think? I think we'll get past them personally, but
yeah, I think that's something to keep an eye on. But I have a feeling that we're not going to see these Pirates last 30 minutes.
But we will alert you when any player crosses that threshold, because it only takes 1.
So aside from the Zombies that we're watching some of our runners try to fight, we're also watching SBQ92 take on Geists, which are a little bit less beefy and a little bit less frightening, and every bit as susceptible to harm 4. And so that may end up being the way to progress here.
Unless you like your Geists with 5 hits.
One for each finger on their dead hands.
Looks like Bismarck gained a couple of levels. Did he get to 6? He looks like he got to 6. He may have the levels to cast Zap at this point.
That level 3 Zap is the key here to going ahead and trying to eradicate these pirates from our runners' paths. And so we will see whether or not they're ready to do so. Fuchsia Fantasy noting in chat that Bismarck might be ready, so let's go ahead and see if he can make a go at it here. Here comes Zap. 2 casts of it, too. Those double red mages are looking pretty smart at this point.
Yeah, and here I was wondering whether or not double red mage was going to work out, because it's a huge risk taking red mage, but it looks like that risk is paying off for him right now.
Say hello to the pirates and goodbye to the pirates, everybody. There they go.
Just to make you all aware, Bismarck is the first to cross the pirates, not just on the stream, but for the entirety of all the runners.
So we've got our leader in the clubhouse is Bismarck 189 up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, going with the double red mage strat, which is paying off in spades. Now he's going to go ahead and do his shopping, and let's see if he can press his advantage here.
It's not that much of an advantage, unfortunately. We have had another runner finish the Zap Pirate strat, so actually he's got one hot on his tail.
Stopping to do a little shopping back in Canaria. So we've seen the first 6 chests that are here in the Inner Sea. 3 of them are in the Temple of Fiends, 3 of them are in Matoya's Cave, but we still have 2 more chests in the Dwarf Cave that could hold a progression item before we have to go to the dreaded Marsh Cave next. Sforzando, I know you have all sorts of stats on chests and how many are in the game and such. What are our chances that we're going to have to go to Marsh Cave this time?
Well, it's pretty good at this point, considering there are 10 chests in Marsh Cave and 2 chests in the Dwarf Cave. Let us not forget, we still have to actually play the game as it was intended, so we are still looking for the TNT. We may possibly need to find the floater, so at this point, we're still landlocked, so we need to find that TNT. It is a strong likelihood that it is in the Marsh Cave, and so we're going to probably be taking a look at that here soon.
Bismarck working on some Kizoku, takes those down for some experience in gold, and those levels are important. He's going to go take a peek at those Dwarf Cave chests as we watch now Len the Cat down on your lower right. He's going to go ahead and make a go at the pirates now. Looks like he's going to do it with still swinging swords.
Yeah, the levels aren't going to help you that much if the hit still hits you. It still has a chance to stone touch you. It doesn't matter whether you're level 2 or level 6. He's going to see very quickly that he is going to end up with a stone party if he doesn't run into some good luck here soon.
So Bismarck thinking about this, so he's not going to keep the Flame Shield or the other items that were up in the Dwarf Cave. So we are going to Marsh Cave. There are 3, I believe 4 chests at the top of Marsh Cave. And then the balance are in the bottom of Marsh Cave. And each one of our runners right now that has passed the pirates and knows that they have to go down to Marsh Cave, the next sort of concern point that they have to be thinking about is probably those wizards down at the bottom of Marsh Cave.
Yeah, having Zap is going to help you immensely in this point, too. The wizards are susceptible to Zap, so that will help, though it will still require a good bit of luck, as opposed to the brute force traditional way of Lit 3 or Nuke or Fade.
Bismarck making it to Elfland now. He will have 4 magic shops that he can take a look at in here. And so he will have roughly seen half of the magic that's available in the game at this point. Sforzando, what are you looking for at this point in these magic shops?
Exit and something that can hit. At this point, you want damaging spells. Zap's going to be nice ultimately, but you definitely want something more reliable than Zap, and you definitely are looking for something to get out of these caves with.
Level 8 Harm 3 is not going to be what they're looking for in the white magic side, so hopefully they get a little better luck here on these other ones. For the white magic side, you got level 1 Fear, which is not that useful. Black magic side, we've got us level 1 Quad X, which could conceivably get you out of a little bit of a pinch if you find an enemy that has less than 300 hit points.
Yeah, kill any enemy with less than 300 points unless they are undead or elemental. So I believe wizards are on that list of enemies that would die if they had less than 300 hit points. That is a fantastic pickup, albeit a single target spell.
So not a whole lot of help there in the armor shop. And there's not been a whole lot of bracelets available in any of these shops yet either.
There is one of each bracelet in a chest somewhere in the world, so there is the possibility that they could still find a silver or a copper or even a gold before they find it in the armor shop.
Parla Boy, I see your question in chat. First off, thanks for joining us tonight. You're asking, what can Len do besides repeating insanity against the pirates? The answer that some of our other runners have found is the zap spell, which is in level 3, which is of help. Although it looks like Len has gotten through the pirates at this point and is doing his shopping.
Yeah, props to him for brute forcing that without using zap. That's definitely some good luck on his side.
Bismarck sailing back in the direction of Provoca, maybe to find some levels, maybe to do some shopping. We'll have to see what he does here. And it does look like it's going to be a Peninsula power grind for Bismarck 189. He's going to grab some levels before he goes ahead and tries to chance Marsh Cave.
Marsh Cave can be absolutely brutal. I think back to our game 1 of this flag set where the Bones had Blizzard or Thunder, the Mucks had Quad X, the Wizards had Trance, the Spiders or Arachnids had Blizzard. Sometimes the Marsh Cave can be absolutely brutal.
Yeah, especially with the skill shuffle and the spell shuffle, you get something like the Poisonous Party Mix that Geyer and Fiesel sort of coined, and you're in for a bad day if they spun up something that is going to be able to kill your party.
I think given the flag set, though, I would probably agree with Fuchsia here in chat. Just do Marsh at 6. 6 is probably good, especially if you're running the double thief comp and you just sort of hope for the best. With Zap, you're not going to get through a whole lot of the. I think you can't get really through the undead. I think undead. I don't know if undead are susceptible to time magic or not. But I would probably have assumed they weren't, and I would have just gone for it, tried to run from everything.
SBQ joining Bismarck in the Peninsula Power Grind. Len the Cat is going to go ahead and visit Elfland now. He'll do his shopping, pick up some stuff, and we'll see whether or not he wants to chance Marsh Cave, where Bismarck is playing it a little more conservatively.
I think if you're running at least one thief, you're probably ready to chance it. But he is, I think, a few less levels. I don't think he made it to level 6. Maybe he did, but he meleeed in brute force, so it's probably because he either didn't pick up Zap or didn't have the levels for it.
SBQ92 got the result he wanted there, and his Red Mage and his Fighter gained a whole bunch of levels. I'm sorry, Red Mage and Black Belt, that is, and so he has the key he needs in order to go ahead and cast that Zap. Artie Platypus dropping the knowledge on us in chat, saying about 380% of strength would get the wizards out of Quad X range. And so if we see somebody try to cast Quad X on a wizard and it doesn't work, then wow, the randomizer RNG just screwed our runners.
I am trying to remember off the top of my head how many hit points the original Wizards had. I wanted to tell you it was 63. But
yeah,
I honestly
if that's
don't
not
remember.
it exactly, it's pretty close to that. Actually, looks like it might be a little bit higher than that. Wizards in vanilla Final Fantasy have 84 hit points rolling for base, and so they could have a pretty beefy amount of hit points here to contend with.
Yep. If they had something in the neighborhood of trance or otherwise, that could be bad. Full party stun while they just get beat up.
Bismarck continues his Zombol grind. We'll see whether or not he also tries to... Nope, there's a Zombol encounter that he will find much more nice. Len the Cat is going to give us our first peek on screen here at Marsh Cave, so let's see how this goes.
And just to make a small spoiler, one of our racers has spotted the gold bracelet at a shop outside of the circle. It is maximum price gold. We will see it on one of our runners here soon.
You gotta love that with the prices spun up to almost 500% here, if I recall correctly. Those items can be super expensive here, or super cheap too.
I don't know. Some of the higher value items, it definitely seems like the price is on the higher end more often than not. But that could be anecdotal.
And the cat running into a pack of bones and crawls. Of course, the crawls have 17 hits for 19 damage. So, you know, you can thank the randomizer for at least not letting them hit very hard.
Len has found the TNT in the southwest chest in the upper floor. What do you think? Do you think he goes to the bottom, or do you think he just takes that TNT and runs?
Oh, I would run the heck out of here. You don't want to stick around Marsh Cave. There's too many different enemies down here, and they come in, you know, very varied packs. And you really run the risk of running into something with an awful skill or a script.
I think I'd take the gamble, because it is a gamble at this point. If you think about... I always treat treasure chests like a Monty Hall problem. If you've decided that you want to go somewhere, and then the numbers on the stats change, maybe it changes your opinion of where you find. You walk in a marsh cave with 10 chests, and then suddenly you're down to 6, but you found something you were already looking for. You could then opt out for a better result. So it is a little bit of a gamble to go down there for just 6 chests, and it's 6 of, it could be anything, because you found your TNT. It could be anything, it could be nothing, but if it's down there, and by it, I mean it could be floater, it could be the gold bracelet to save you money, it could be the opal bracelet to win you the game. It's a low percentage play, but if it works...
Well, think about, I guess, the odds or the opportunity cost of taking that time and going somewhere else instead. By cashing in that TNT, you gain access pretty early to Earth Cave. And if you're going to dive, you can dive Earth Cave, which has a few more chests than Marsh does, and it sort of points you in the direction of Crescent Lake to grab that canoe anyways.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, statistically, and if you're playing it by the numbers, it is definitely worthwhile to take your TNT and run, because you're talking 6 chests versus all of Volcano, first 3 levels of Earth, all of Ice Cave, Castle Ordeals. Statistically, it's the better play.
Len the Cat running into a, speaking of statistics, runs into a pack of Rurus who cast Bane and kill his party dead. And he was almost back to Elfland. Here they come again.
We have a runner off screen who is going to hit the bottom of Marsh, so I'll let you know what he finds.
Oh, excellent. Thank you to whoever that brave runner is. We have one person out of 13 deciding to chance the bottom of Marsh Cave. And thanks to everybody on board with us here on a Friday evening. This is the Final Fantasy Randomizer League, and the goal for this one is to find all 4 bracelets, 1 copper, 1 silver, 1 gold, 1 opal, that's the big one, and place them on your black belt, which can be alive or dead, we don't really care about that part, in order to dot done. And this really sort of devolves to a chase for the opal bracelet at the end of it. But what you're watching our 3 runners do right now is just try to scramble for that first progression item, the TNT. Our skill and enemy stats are souped up for this seed, all the way up to 400%. And so even your normally piddly ogres or imps or other enemies can be truly frightening and kind of a surprise. If you haven't watched us with the Final Fantasy Randomizer League before, we do have 8 different levels of challenge stages for our league members to run. This is one of the more chaotic ones, and we have other ones that are a little bit more traditional. Stages 4, 5, and 6 will be more traditional, kill the end boss sort of seeds.
Before I reveal what I've seen down in the bottom of Marsh Cave, I want to see what Bismarck does. That way you all can find out together. But if Bismarck does not go down to the bottom floor, I will tell you what was down there.
Ooh.
Interesting.
There's the TNT that Bismarck was looking for. Let's see what happens here. Speaking of TNT, there's Len the Cat cashing it in so that he can go ahead and continue on to Melmond. Bismarck making his run back up to the top of Marsh Cave, assuming so that he can save his game at the very least, and then we will see what his decision is. Meanwhile, in chat, I went ahead and put up some of the informational links to our Final Fantasy Randomizer League. You can look at our bracket, the schedule, and also our Discord if you want to join our Discord. We're a super fun and welcoming group.
Yeah, and feel free to give our runners a follow for being featured. Feel free to also give Speed Gaming and their auxiliary channels a follow. We certainly appreciate all of that, and we certainly appreciate Speed Gaming for hosting us tonight.
Absolutely. If you haven't given Feasel and Speed Gaming some love with some follows or even some subscriptions, this is definitely the time to do it. There's a great entertainment on these series of channels for you all to watch. I Rule All 77, Sforzando asks, why is somebody running with 2 thieves? You want to take that one?
I love running 2 thieves. So, basically killing, and I mean long-term killing, is a waste of time. Your goal is to check chests, and I mean just open chests and run. And so 2 thieves are going to help you get out of your fights faster. With Magic Shop Shuffle, you don't have any predictability, at least from the start of the game. You don't have any predictability on what your spells are, and so you don't guarantee that you will have spells that will effectively clear boards. So the fastest way to get through chests would be to be able to run away reliably from all the fights. And as you can see, the item that I was holding off on, Bismarck did find the gold bracelet, which is going to save him a max purchase.
That's pretty impressive. I'm assuming it was 65,000 gold off screen. Now he has run into the wizards, and so we'll have to be careful here. Oh, never mind. That looks like they want to run away.
Yes, from the original vanilla, as A-Dog has pointed out, the original vanilla, the runaway chance did not work the way it was intended. And so part of the randomizer is actually also a bug fixer in which it has fixed how luck works in regards to running away, which makes thieves very viable if your strategy is to run away from things.
Speaking of running, Bismarck taking his gold bracelet and running with it. He's going to check that top chest up in the upper right-hand corner. Hopefully the werewolf Rurus also didn't learn Bane this seed.
Yeah, and so that is going to save him a max price purchase later, because it doesn't... I haven't been paying attention, but I don't think there's a whole lot of gold on the table right now.
I haven't seen any huge gold chests yet, and so if Bismarck can parlay his gold bracelet find into savings where other people need to grind for gold, he could get a bit of an advantage out of this.
It is certainly possible. Statistically, again, when you get to the bulk chest checking, if you go to the bulk areas like the Armory and Volcano, you are more likely to find larger chunks of gold in there. But if our opal bracelets in Sea Shrine, you might need to make a large chunk purchase for the bottle. So it'll save you from 2 large purchases if you find the gold bracelet down at the bottom of the marsh.
Bismarck using Quad X to great effect. Here it comes again. Goodbye. And that's how it's done. Last chest done here then with the Marsh Cave. So Marsh Cave is completely cleared except for the key-locked chests. Hopefully we won't have to come back here to open up key-locked chests. If that happens, Swartzando, you and I are going to be here a while.
Well, you and I can hope it doesn't happen, but I think it'd be good to see for all these people out here.
All right, Bismarck. So with the Swartzando, with the mix of spells that are on the table right now, if you were in our runner's shoes and you were just about to cash in the TNT, where would your next target be?
We don't have Warp or Exit yet. It makes Earth a little tougher. You have Zap, which if Zap works on elementals, you might give Earth a try. But Earth is a bit more stretched out, a bit more elongated in terms of where the chests are. Volcano's probably going to give you the best bang for your buck right now in terms of sheer chest checking. If you had enough gold to buy some heal potions, and that's going to be your biggest concern diving Volcano, is party health. If you have enough money to buy a stack of potions, or if we happen to find a good heal spell a little later on, I mean, that's probably the statistically correct play.
And so Len the Cat will be the first person on stream here to have to make that decision. He's wandering into Crescent Lake now, so hopefully we will see his choice, and the choice appears to be Volcano.
One of the important things to note is that both of our listed incentivized chests have been turned off, so there's no guarantee that you will get a key item from the end of Ice Cave or Castle Ordeals. It actually makes Castle Ordeals a fairly low percentage play, at about almost 4% chance for it to contain our opal bracelet. Slightly more if it contained the floater.
Bismarck escapes with his TNT, and also escapes with that gold bracelet, and so he is done. Just ahead of him is SPQ92 rolling into Melmon now. Let's take a look at those spells. There's Exit at level 6. That's going to be a really tall order for anybody that didn't bring a white mage along.
Yeah, and not only that, level 6 requires level 16 on a white mage anyway, and unless we're going for a Temple of Fiends dive, you're really not going to get to that level.
SPQ unhappy with his armor choices there. His party appears to be wandering aimlessly through Melmond, unsure what to do.
One thing that's interesting that some research has been done on this. So one of our programmers, Meridian BC, did a simulation of 200,000 seeds, in which he gave a statistical breakdown on where the opal bracelet was located. And so Volcano, as a single dungeon, represents the highest likelihood that it contains the opal bracelet at 13.62%. Artie Platypus asks if we have seen silver or copper bracelets in shops. I do not believe so. And so, And so it's a very good chance that both of those are in Gaia. We do know that right here in Melmond is our gold bracelet, though.
Okay, so I do have an answer as to why SBQ92 is halted in place. It's as part of his custom ROM that he uses. He replaced the armor symbols with symbols from Final Fantasy III or Final Fantasy IV, and he just realized that he has those symbols screwed up, and he cannot tell which ones are the bracelets and which ones aren't. And so because of that, he is going to go ahead and forfeit, which is a bit of a bummer. I feel bad for him. So if everybody can give SBQ92 a GG in chat, it looks like his customization got the better of him this time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible if we can get another runner subbed in or not. I don't think we usually can on speed gaming, unfortunately, but we're gonna find out.
Well, we'll see what we can do on that, and meanwhile, we'll stay on track with Bismarck and Len the Cat as we go. So as Edgestream is noticing for us in chat, the silver bracelet has been found in Melmond, and the copper bracelet is in apparently up in Gaia, which we haven't seen yet on stream, but that's okay. So yeah, and then I think one of those was one of those that SBQ ran into was a bracelet, but didn't realize it until it was too late.
It also means that the floater has been found by one of our off-stream runners. That puts them at a major advantage because they can fly around and check different chests and have access to more chests than the people who do not. That doesn't necessarily mean the opal bracelet's out of their grasp, but it does increase their likelihood of checking more and more chests.
At least we do get to watch the nice townspeople of Melmond wander around for a bit. Len the Cat finding the ruby in the volcano. Bismarck now rolling into Melmond himself and is going to go into the armor shop. Let's see what he finds. Ah, yes, there are the gold and silver bracelets both available there in Melmond.
I wonder, at this point, if you are a runner who, and let's just say some of our runners still struggled with the pirates. Everyone has made it past the encounter at this point, but some struggle more than others with the pirate fight. So if you are at the, the 30, the 41, 42 minute mark, and you're still down in the marsh cave, I wonder what goes through their head as far as the gambles they might have to take in the future.
At that point, Swordsonda, do you think you start going to lower percentage places like an ordeals or a waterfall, or something along those lines?
See, if it were me, I feel like one of these days, one of these low percentage plays should pay off. So many times are we seeing it in more higher percentage places. I say that, and it was back-to-back games now. It's been in the ice cave, so I don't really know. Ice Cave represents a spooky 6.66% chance to have the opal bracelet.
Len the Cat running into some mucks that cast Fog 2 on themselves. He decides he does not want to play with that today. I believe he has cleared everything now. Oh, he's going to go take a look at a couple more chests. He wants that ruby, just in case it's needed. He's going to go ahead and save with it. So, Ruby Gamble, anyone?
Gotta think that's just not a good play at this point. You gotta think that there are more easy chests to check than to run, and I mean run, not fly, to Titan's Cave.
And the cat diving now down to the lower levels of Volcano. And at a 400% enemy stat level, lower Volcano, it can be real frightening to runners. He's going to have to be super careful with several encounters down here, not the least of which is the Agama and the Red Dragon. They are guarding various chests down here.
And that's kind of why I like Double Thief, is the chest that they guard. You can run away from them no problem, provided, of course, that you live. This is actually a sneaky sort of fight Len the Cat's in, because sometimes I wonder if this is the 2 Green Ogre, 2 Wizard Ogre fight, or the 2 Wizard Ogre, 2 Cerberus fight, which is actually an unrunnable encounter. Because those numbers are 0 to 2, and so that fools me sometimes. Sometimes I'll see 2 Cerebuses, and I can never tell whether the Wizogres are supposed to be a part of that or not.
Cerberi? You're correct. That encounter also fools me quite a bit as well, and I try to run from it for a while and then realize that I'm, being a fool.
Bismarck's still opting for more levels.
I like R.D. Platypus's idea of how to pronounce Cerberus is Fire Doggy.
Yep, the one downside to gaining levels is where he's trying to gain levels, others are checking chests, and I think there's a little too much conservative play gaining levels. If you need to gain levels, really it's only going to be for Temple of Fiends. You're either going to hit that over threshold, we played a race earlier today where it didn't matter what level you were, the Chimeras in Mirage 8 hit you, the bad men hit you way too hard. There's just only so many levels you can get. You're really hurting your chest checking timing.
Just a few more chests here for Len the Cat to check on this level. We will take a peek at the Agamas. We are required to see at least one in this room. Or not this room, the next one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I did not see where the floater specifically was, but I have seen the airship.
Oh, and Len the Cat takes this fight before he heals. I hope he can get away.
We have a dot done off screen. It is Artea with an SRL time of 47 minutes and 2 seconds.
Wow.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but I know where the Opal Bracelet is.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, I'm not watching all 12 runners, so I'll be super excited when it comes by. Len the Cat noped out of the volcano before he went down to the Red Dragon. And so on screen, we still have not yet seen the floater. There is at least 2 chests. At least one chest down there that he didn't take a peek at. There's a beautiful sound of a ruby being found by Bismarck.
So it's definitely going to be interesting to get Artea's take on what happened, and I have a feeling I knew where the floater was, and because it's Artea, I think many out there can probably guess where the floater was. I didn't physically see it, but I did see him pick up the Opal Bracelet, and I know where it is, so...
And the Cat's sailing away now from the volcano, thinking about his next target. Sailing back in the direction of Melmond, so you gotta wonder if he's gonna go take a peek into Earth next.
I do wonder if he's taking that ruby bait. Ordeals, unfortunately, represents a very low percentage play, especially without your incentivized chests on. Earth is kind of a greater percentage play, only in sheer volume. And now that he's got his ruby, he could go all the way down. If he saw the dot done, he's got to look and he's got to think, okay, you know, where was this person? And you try and make your best educated guess based on the time. With the SRL time of 47:02, there are a couple of deductions one might be able to make to try and eliminate some areas.
And there's even a little bit of double meta going on at this point, because Artea is one of our fastest runners and one of our most consistent runners. And that sends everyone else's minds just spinning as to, okay, Artea won again. Where does Artea usually go? And all of that sort of good stuff.
And I do wonder if that's factoring into Len's decision-making at the moment.
Ooh, nice white shirt pickup. In a regular seed, that would be great to find. So we're on board with Len the Cat, who just picked up his rod and can totally complete the Earth Cave if he wants to do so. Bismarck, meanwhile, is plundering the depths of the volcano. We have seen most of the chests here in the volcano. There are a couple down at the bottom we have not seen on screen yet. Most notably, the Red Dragon guarded chest we have not seen. We do have a dot done. Artea is dot done in 47 minutes. And so we will get him into the chat room here very shortly so that we can do an interview with him. Len the Cat makes his way out of the Titan's tunnel and will go ahead and save his game, run over to Earth Cave next. I'm seeing a lot of wild speculation in chat as to where the floater and where the opal bracelet are. Anybody else have any additions to what people are thinking at this point? Len the Cat now diving down into the first level of Earth Cave. We'll see what he finds there. And lo and behold, everybody, there's a floater for Len the Cat in the lower right-hand corner of the first level of Earth Cave. And so with the floater spotted, now you start to... the game opens up, and now you've got to really start to think about, okay, where are these easy chests coming from? Where can I go for a lot of chests all at once? And we have Artea joining us here in the commentary room. We can probably, seeing as how he's done, he can give us a bit of a thought process to how we finish this. GG, Artea.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just listening to your last comment, like go where the chests are, which is true. You definitely do want to go for chest density, but you want to go for something you can survive and clear to as well. Which, given what we had access to, in my mind was, well, okay, I'll get to Melman because Marsh was going to be a slog with the heat on all the zombies and the shadows and everything. So once I got the TNT, I pieced out of there. And then I get to Melmon, I've got tents to burn. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll dive early Earth. All I have is instant death. Mobs there don't really have any magic resistance. And it's like the first two floors are more or less free if you have access to fire and are like at level 5, 8, 10, whatever. It's fairly safe to go there, so I like to dive early Earth in pretty much every seed. Which, you know, skillfully rewarded me with a floater, which kind of set up the whole go around the world, pick up the free chests with the floater, and then I went back to Earth because I was still ridiculously underleveled with no real killing power. So that was the logical choice for me, to just go down there, and well, this time it paid off.
Yeah, Earth nearly represents a 10% chance to find your opal bracelet, so it's really not the worst play in the world.
No. I like going Earth early on just regular races because the chests aren't that far out of the way of the road you have to go down to go kill Lich anyway. In this case, though, you don't necessarily have to kill Lich. I mean, the odds of having to kill him are so low that you don't really think about it. But being ridiculously underleveled and not having access to, say, an early Fire 3 or an early Ice 3 or Nuke or Fade or something like that, something with like actual killing power, diving easy dungeons is probably a better idea than trying to go into Deep Volcano or Ice Cave or Ordeals or something like that.
I forget, and I apologize if you shared it once before. What was your party comp?
Double Red Mage and Thief.
That double Red Mage worked out for Bismarck as well. With the pirates being Stone Touch and having Zap, the best chance to get that off, and so it seemed like that was probably the right decision overall.
Yeah, the Black Mage probably could have worked as well, but I'm not sure what enemies other than imps were like, but wolves were really rude, and you definitely didn't want to try to kill those. And imps were virtually unkillable because they either hit you like trucks, had 1,000,000 hit points, or just ran away. So having the Red Mage with the Harm 4 for the Zombies was, and then gaining access to Zap, which dealt with the annoying pirates, was definitely a blessing this seed.
So the Spectre of a Seed, where you receive a ruby in Volcano, actually unlocks the end of the game for you, has come up here, and so I'm sure we're going to hear a little bit of salt from runners that have been carrying that ruby around the entire game and not realizing that you could finish with it.
Probably. But I mean, it's a scavenger hunt. I mean, it's mostly all luck at this point. So.
Yeah, and I wonder how many of these runners are going to take any other dive. I think I could see at least one runner, and I think I'd be willing to bet if you ask him if Len saw that you were done. I think he changed, he shifted direction, went right for the Earth Cave.
Yep, I agree. I think he did the exact same thing. He turned right around. And I think your .dunning at 47 minutes made him realize that he probably missed the floater earlier somewhere. And now he's in your head somewhere, Artea, trying to figure out what on earth it is you did to finish.
Well, I mean, Len is somebody who has played a lot with me, so, I mean, he's most likely thinking, okay, dive Earth, but the floater might throw him off and send him over to the waterfall or something like that.
I feel like I mentioned earlier, there's a handful of things you feel like you can eliminate when you see a dot done at 47 minutes. You got to think it's definitely not in Sky.
Oh, for sure.
Not 100% sure if it rules out mermaids, but we haven't seen the model, so...
It doesn't really rule out mermaids. It definitely rules out Krakenside. But it really depends on if you've seen the bottle. If you haven't seen the bottle by Nelmond or Crescent Lake, you can pretty much rule mermaids out too. Which leaves the either floater chests or waterfall or marsh or earth, whichever you didn't check.
Going back and diving earths, you found that in the floaters in floor 1, right? Is that where Bismarck just found it?
Correct.
Did you dive floor 2 before, or did you go back and do 2 in addition to 3 and 4?
No, I pieced out and went on the world tour for the free floater chests.
Okay, so you left yourself a high percentage amount of chests left in the Earth Cave to do.
Oh yeah, I still had the second floor downwards.
Because I wonder anybody who may have checked down at the 3rd floor and then noped out, or otherwise would have definitely only had 8 chests left to make it less likely.
Yeah.
But...
Now the issue is behind on the 2nd floor of Earth, behind the Earth Elemental, there is a crown there.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, I'm serious. But the Earths are so beefy. It took. I picked up a mage staff, I think it was in Titan's Tunnel or Cardia, I'm not sure which one of the two, but it took me a good 9 casts of Fire 2 to get it down. So after I picked up the crown, I just reset out and continued the dive down Earth because there was no way I was getting a second Earth Elemental down, losing a party member and not really having any resources to deal with it anymore.
I'm going to assume it was in Cardia. Files just checked Titan's Tunnel and came out with a white shirt.
Looks like Len is playing the gamble of going to Waterfall. He's going to go ahead and look for his missing opal bracelet there.
Did we find Warp yet? We knew Exit was out of reach for a red mage.
Not sure if it was out of reach.
It was level 6.
Yeah, probably. I just saw the price tag on it, and I immediately closed the window. It was something like 27,000, which you don't really have to burn in a seed like this.
Well, I think once you find the floater and the opal bracelet, some would say you could do either or. You really don't need the exit spell, especially if you're gonna done the very minute you find the opal bracelet. So,
exactly.
Provided you had the other 3, of course.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part, is just pick up what you can buy, so you're not stuck having to exit a dungeon with the opal bracelet and then go shopping. I mean, as soon as you see it, pick it up or make a mental note if it's a bit too expensive. Go pick up some gear, sell it. Once you have the money, go buy it.
Well, you're going to be handing out some points tonight. It doesn't appear anyone is close to diving down in deep earth. We got 2 guys going and picking up the rod now, but that's not necessarily indicative of a dive.
Sforzando, do either of those players have the floater as well?
Then neither of them do. It looks like they took the ruby bait.
Well, that could conceivably lead them to where they need to be if they don't take the floater bait and then also the crown bait.
It's gotta be real hard not to take the floater bait, though.
Oh yeah, I'm expecting the crown to hit at least one person.
We've got another runner in Castle Ordeals. I did get to see the final chest, and it wasn't anything but gold. I don't know what the other 8 were.
Bismarck picking up chests here in the Cardi Islands. He's not going to find the item for which he seeks, but he does pick up nothing of interest. He goes ahead and resets right back out of it. Arte, a question for you in regards to not just these flags, but any set of flags where we have these souped up percentages at the beginning in a Magic Shop Shuffle. How far into a seed will you go before you realize that maybe another party composition might work better, and you can go ahead and reset your party to different parameters?
Honestly, never. Right off the bat, I have some kind of plan, and come try to phrase this in a PG way. No matter what happens, that plan still more or less sticks. Not having access to early black magic, for example, that doesn't really influence my choices, because the goal is to kill chaos. Now, with a goal like this, it's a bit different. But again, with normally I'd run double thief and red mage, but now this time, after having trouble with the last few seeds, I decided to go double red mage. It's a party that will be okay at running away, since you have the thief and you have the black belt that can do an okay job of that. And the red mage is really the early game god, which is pretty much all this seed is about. It gives you access to all the black magic you'll ever need just to go on a scavenger hunt. And in a bind, you can toss on a chain armor and a short sword or whatever weapon you happen to find. And I mean, it's not as good as a fighter, but it's good enough if you don't have to dive those late game dungeons. So I'm not really a fan of re-rolling just because there's say a level 1 nuke or a level 1 fade that's easily accessible.
Yeah, if you kept going and you wanted to do some denials, is this a party comp you go with in the future?
Might go back to Double Thief, but probably. There will definitely be a Red Mage. The debate would be whether you take a second Red Mage or a second Thief for this goal.
So both Bismarck and Len the Cat are one bracelet away from being able to dot done, but have picked dungeons that are going to have them turn up empty here. We do know that the Opal bracelet is hiding in Lower Earth, and so both of our featured runners will have to go head back in that direction to go ahead and finish. It does look like we have a forfeit off-screen to Zarnax42. GG to you. Maybe we will see him pop up in chat here.
Yeah, there's a certain point where I think you just get maybe frustrated, or you just don't know where it is. And depending on what your scores have been so far, there may be a certain threshold where you don't want to stress out over it more than you have to. We're about 5, maybe less than 5 minutes away from the 0.5 score mark.
And for those of you that aren't familiar with how the scoring goes for this first season of our randomizer league, Artea set the pace in this seed at 47 minutes. And then everybody receives a point, or 0.01 for every percentage point over and above Artea's time. And so 47 minutes times 2 is a maximum score of 1.00. And then if you don't want to play past that, or if you can improve upon a previous score that you've already achieved in this stage, you're by no means required to continue. You can go ahead and forfeit out if you want to do so.
Yeah, so we take the best possible score over the course of however many races are in this particular stage. In this stage, it's 14. And so, for example, I have a 0.14 that I've scored, and so I could keep trying and better that score. But even if I score worse in another stage upcoming, the 0.14 will be the lowest score that stands, provided I don't break that in another game. And so it doesn't just reward you for finishing first place. It doesn't necessarily reward you for finishing second place, depending on how far away you finish behind the leader.
We're watching Bismarck play the game of hot and cold, and if we could all yell at him, he's getting a little bit warmer. So we'll see whether or not he dives down into Lower Earth now.
Oh, for his sake, I hope he doesn't take the crown bait.
Question in chat, SBQ quit. SBQ had some issues with his custom ROM that they use. He did not distinguish between silver bracelet and silver armor, and so he can't actually tell whether or not he has the silver bracelet, and so that has led him to forfeit out while he goes and fixes that. Hopefully we'll see him back in another race.
And the cat about to play with some frost rurus. Only 3 of them. He's going to try to run away, but they know Brack.
Wolves are just tough animals this game.
And a little bit of fire to, well, now his party is a set of statues, unfortunately. Len's going to think about his choices. Looks like he's going to nope out of Ice Cave and try something else.
Well, I don't think we found the slab yet this game, have we? That doesn't necessarily make Mirage even a play, and so it looks like he's going to make his way to Castle Ordeal.
And we do know that Bismarck is on the right track, and so hopefully he will keep on here and not get distracted by any of the other shiny items down here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna take the crown bait. He's about to pick it up.
Oh, and it's in that worst position where you have to take another fight with the Earth to get out if you don't warp.
Yeah. Yeah, I legitimately would have taken that bait if the Earth Elementals weren't just so ridiculously beefy.
Bismarck gonna try his hand with a Quad X, maybe?
Yeah, it's not gonna help.
Work.
And that's what Files did. I was watching Files off screen. Files blew all of his Quad X's trying to kill it. Didn't realize Quad X doesn't work on elementals.
There are very few monsters that Quad X doesn't work on, but elementals are one of them.
I think it's elementals and any undead, right?
Any undead, elementals, Warmech, and chaos.
Sforzando, off screen, do we have anybody else in Earth Cave right now besides Bismarck?
Yes, Will Bloodworth is actually in Earth B2 at the moment. Because he's about the same position Bismarck's in.
Let's watch now and see what Bismarck decides to do. Is he going to stick around, or is he going to go on a crown goose chase?
I'd hate to say it. If it were me, I'd almost have taken the bait. Floor 3 can be kind of frustrating with wizards. You've got Zap, which you know it works if you went down into Marsh and you killed the wizards. But Bat percent looks like it's actually going to get Bismarck here.
It's the Melmond Allbat strike again.
He's got to do his best not to raise his voice at that bat for fear of waking Speedrunner Hudson.
Melmond Allbat's coined by Artea here in the chat room. Thank you for that little meme.
I'm pretty sure I coined Team Steak too at some point, but I'm not 100% on that one.
Well, I'll blame you for that one anyway, whether you did or not. Snakes with Sleep Touch here against Bismarck. This is looking a little frightening.
Oh, that's a lot of nasty. I didn't see. The Cobras had heat, but outside of that, I didn't see. The Great Wolves weren't scary, but they were ridiculously annoying because they come in large packs in Earth Cave, and their first spell was a Fear. So that was just a huge waste of time.
When the cat finding nothing in ordeals, sailing around now. Let's see where he decides to go next. He's heading in the direction of Melmond, maybe.
I'll tell you, you had Thorhammer, right? So that makes the wizard encounter a bit less scary.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had Zap too, which isn't super reliable against wizards, but it's good enough if they're not too scary. But yeah, I had picked up Thor's Hammer too.
When the cat did not full clear Marsh earlier and is now going to go back, perhaps convinced that Artea found something interesting here.
Yes, that's a real tough call when you pick up the crown and you have maybe barely enough tools to clear Earth B3. Yeah, I can't say that that was a gamble that I don't know that anybody else takes. It seems like. We have definitely crossed the 0.5 mark in the scoring system, which means we have made it over 150% of Artea's finishing time of 47:02.
Artea, I don't know if I should give you a possible gold star for 1.0ing everybody else in the race.
And not only that, but he technically commentator bait as Bismarck is going and checking the crown chest now.
I mean, save the gold star for something that is a bit less luck based.
Well, at least we're gonna get to see what's in the crown chests. Not like it makes much matter. Will Bloodworth is on B3 of Earth checking. So he, it looks like, did not take the crown bait. We'll see if he pushes past the vampire and into B4.
I didn't catch Bismarck saving before heading to Astos. I really hope he doesn't get wiped.
We have 3 runners in Sea Shrine right now.
Oh god.
We've got 1 in Waterfall Cave.
I mean, legitimately, Waterfall is possible. Sea Shrine really isn't. With a finishing time like this.
Well, we'll get to be able to find out what all the Mystic Key chests were hiding today.
Except he doesn't have the Mystic Key yet. You must go kiss the sleeping prince, Bismarck. Fuchsia Fantasy reminding us that is true. Minochi does have a practice win at this with a time of 28 minutes in which the item was in the Sea Shrine down in the Mermaids.
Bismarck now jumping back over to the Northwest Castle, looking for that opal bracelet. Unfortunately, it's not going to be here, too. He's going to have to go back into Earth Cave for the 3rd time in order to finish. Something tells me we're gonna hear from him when he does eventually.
I just had a thought. What if he finds the slab? Because we haven't found the slab yet, and, you know, you could say, oh, slab, let me go to Mirage, because, you know, bottom 2 floors of Mirage are open now.
Yeah, we have to go back to how quickly the first place finished. I mean, how likely is it that someone would pick up the slab and go clear Mirage and find everything there in so short a time?
Bismarck finding an opal troll item here in Dwarf Cave. Found a opal shield. It's close, but no, that's not it either.
We have another forfeit. Quicklit has opted to drop out.
Len the Cat now playing the hot or cold game. There he is on the 2nd floor of Earth. We all have to sort of will him with our minds to go ahead and drop down to the lower levels of Earth and not take the crown bait.
Not to... well, never mind. Predict shortly we are going to have our 2nd place finisher. Question chat at 1:34. Do the remaining players get informed that they've scored a 1? They don't. I'd like to think that they can do some of the math in their head and know exactly where they're at. Sometimes that doesn't stop people. After today's race, in which we had some high scoring, people pushed on past the 1.0. Just for pride, for SRL points, or otherwise. Our scoring system is sort of a sub-scoring system to the SRL rankings. But no, we don't make a mass broadcast to say you have officially reached double the time. You know, the players will make their own decisions. So, Artia, let me ask you: are you up for playing a Groundhog Day seed after this?
I'm considering it, but I've been putting a lot of time into Zelda 2 lately, so I don't know.
All right, so we have our 2nd place finisher, just as I predicted. It is Will Bloodworth with an SRL time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 53 seconds. He did not take the crown bait and pushed all the way down to B4. It is in the northern chest room.
So we will see whether or not... Oh, and lo, he appears. Hello, Will Bloodworth. How are you doing?
Hey, yet another 2nd place that doesn't mean anything in the Chaos Points department race for me.
Jeez. You will.
Thanks, man.
That was all skill. Like,
I had a feeling it was going to be there.
You know, we were watching and wondering if anybody was going to get any chaos points off of Artea here. We were sort of thinking this might be a 1.0 sweep for everybody else.
No, well, I mean, it's not improving my score, so I mean, effectively it is. If nobody finishes in, I think it's what?
In about 16 minutes.
Yeah, 134 or so.
So take us through your thought process when you see somebody else finish in 47 minutes. What does that do to your thought process and how you proceed from there?
Well, the fact that it was Artea, and this is not just blowing smoke up his butt or anything, but like the fact that it's Artea means practically nothing in terms of where it could possibly be, because if he wants to get somewhere fast, he's going to get there. It's not really so much a matter of, I don't know how it's possible he could find, you know, the slab and then the chime and then go to Mirage Tower and get it there inside of 47 minutes, because it could happen. But it still made me believe that it probably wasn't that. So I thought, what's accessible in this span of time, knowing we had to grind like crazy just to get past the pirates. So everything that was within range was floor 2 volcano, ice ordeals, and ice I gave up on. I knew that wasn't going to be it. I went through ordeals, there was nothing there. I thought, okay, well, the only thing left at this point is it's going back to Earth. So I grabbed the rod and went down.
And we have another forfeit. Len the Cat, who does have a win in a 0.0 in this stage set, has hung up the towel.
I'm trying like hell to get there.
So answer me I'm assuming the fact that you picked up the crown after fighting that Earth Elemental and told yourself, no, it's got to be Deep Earth, because there's no way in hell he made it back out, killing 2 of those things.
Well, not only that, I mean, you had warp. You could have gotten out past that, but or at least I had warp. So I didn't think crown was the answer. I wanted to at least clear out Earth even before that. So,
you know, for the record, crown represents a 10% plus chance to have the opal bracelet. Is 27 chests out of 231, assuming you check the bottom of March. Even if you don't, it's 24 over 231, which is an over 10% chance.
It is, yeah. And at that point, you're looking at the opportunity of proceeding where you already are. You're within arm's reach of more chests, or backing out for a safer run. And you know, I was at that point where I figure I'm gonna see the Earth Cave through. I really don't think it's in a crown chest. I don't think he did that. I see him playing all the way through it. And that's what happened. When I saw the opal bracelet there, I'm like, yeah, damn you. Freaking no. We seem to be some of the only people who really don't mind the Earth Cave.
A lot of people don't like it. I don't know why. The encounters are easy, relatively. And most of the chests are on the way down to Lich anyway. Like, they're not that far out of the way, except that one stupid chest on the vampire floor that I skip 90% of the time anyway.
Which I've got warp for, too, most of the time. So the chest density's not bad. You get, there's 5 chests on the top floor that aren't that bad. You can reset out of them if it's garbage. The second floor's got 6, one of them through an earth wall. Then you've got, I think, 5 on the 3rd floor. And then you've got 8 on the 4th floor.
Which, at the same time, that earth wall is kind of useful because you know what to expect in Temple of Fiends.
Exactly. Yeah, if you want to plow through it. And that's why I didn't take the second earth fight, because of how much artillery it took to kill the first one. I'm like, I don't think Artea did this. I don't think he plowed through 2 of them.
I did the exact same thing. I killed the first one, picked up the crown, reset out, kept on diving, and completely skipped that second Earth chest. I was like, nope. Abe Simpson plot gift out of that. Like, it was not gonna happen.
So you were effectively watching your playback when you saw me playing.
I didn't see you playing. Actually, you're not on the restream.
Oh, okay.
So Bismarck, meanwhile, got wiped by Brack Frost Wolves in the Ice Cave and decided that wasn't where he wanted to be anymore. He went ahead, and it says that he has the ruby up on the upper right-hand corner of his screen, but that's been changed in now for the rod. And he is entering the Earth Cave for the 3rd time in this seed now.
Yep, poor Bismarck took the crown bait.
Oh no. So at least he's going to get where he's going. If he went and got Rod, odds are if he survives all the way through, he's going to dot next.
Yeah, he is currently the only remaining runner of the remaining runners in the Earth Cave at all at the moment. So,
yeah.
I did see a report in chat that we saw some other runners that met the Earth Elementals, hated them so much that they just left entirely without the crown or anything else, and decided to go try their luck somewhere else.
It would have been it would have been a deterrent for me to try to kill Earth again, but I would still proceed down and grab everything else. It's like going to Marsh Cave and not fighting the wizards, which is literally what I did. I went down to the bottom of Marsh. That's where I got my gold bracelet, so I didn't have to worry about money.
And I do see that we are joined in chat by Len the Cat. We will give you a special dispensation to come on in and say hi, since I know that you were one of our featured streamers tonight. You want to tell us a little bit about the seed and how it went for you?
Oh yeah, those were some tough pirates. Yeah. I went down to the bottom of Volcano, didn't find much there, and I went into Earth, and apparently I should have kept digging in Earth, because that's apparently where everything was.
Well, that's where the important thing was. Yeah, Earth 1 had the floater, and Earth 4 had the oval bracelet.
And so when you see, Len, another competitor done about 45 or 47 minutes in, does that change your thought process? Because both Sforzando and I remarked that it looked like you turned right around from where you were in the volcano and started going somewhere else. Were you thinking, like, okay, where could Artea have gotten to?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I know Artea is a fan of going Earth early, and I had the ruby at that point, so I just said I'm just gonna go and trade in the ruby, get the rod, and just dive that. But once I found the floater, then oh well, I'm done with Earth Cave. I don't need to be in here anymore. And I bet Artea found the opal someplace else.
Yeah, I was tempted to go right back after I got the floater. And I left and I went to go save. I was tempted to just grab the airship and come right back to Earth and go at it, which I'm assuming is what Artea did.
Yeah, I went on the world tour and then came back because I was ridiculously underleveled and our spell selection was pretty much garbage.
Yeah, it was a big fat pile of crap, honestly. It was very good.
It was like, well, all you have is instant death and fire 2, so hey, Earth Cave.
And harm 4.
We have another forfeit. We have our 5th forfeit. It is Minochi. He has opted out of the remainder of this race.
Yeah. I don't blame anyone for forfeiting out of this one or the last one.
And so we are nearing 127 minutes now. The time for everybody remaining to get a 1.0 is about 1 hour and 34 minutes. And so Bismarck is in a bit of a race here.
Yeah, Zalnop is currently in the Earth Cave as well as Ice Blue. Ice Blue is taking a look at B1. Zalnop's in the middle of a fight. I think he may also be on B1 with the Asps. Yep, he is now in B2.
We're going to see some ends here, some dot guns, as opposed to some dot forfeits.
Oh, I think we're going to be seeing a bit of crown bait first.
Question in chat, so it's just one dude now. No, actually, we were tracking 12 entrants to this race. We had 3 featured, and then we had 9 off-stream. We actually still have 4 remaining off-stream that are still going.
So did SBQ forfeit out already?
Yeah, he had a problem with his sprite, not his sprites, but his armor has the symbol next to it. He couldn't differentiate the difference between the bracelet symbol and the armor symbol in his particular ROM hack.
Oh no.
So he gave up because he did not know whether or not he had the silver bracelet.
Oh jeez. Yeah, he would have had to start completely over again with a different ROM.
Yeah, and further right, I mean, he really was not doing that bad.
Oh, he gave up in Melmond, from what it looks like.
I mean, he was holding his own for a while there.
Yeah, he was trucking right along. It was just sort of a really unfortunate kind of a goof there, and I'm sure it will be one that he won't do again. I'm sure he's going to go ahead and change that in his ROM immediately.
Catch everybody up. Ice Blue has taken the crown bait, so now Ice is about to fight Astos.
Oh no. I don't think it's entirely illogical to think that Artea could have gotten the crown, gotten out of there, did the quest with the floater, or with the airship, and, you know...
I mean, that's kind of, it makes you wonder. It almost encourages you to think like you were playing in a tournament. If you saw Artea won, what do you know about him that would suggest where it's at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and oddly enough, that wasn't so much the giveaway. I wanted to go to Earth anyway. But it did discourage me from doing things like doing the Crown Quest. Or buying Bottle and going to sea, or any of those things.
Yeah, and like I said, my heart goes to anybody that runs the crown chest, because I feel like that's what I would do. Mm-hmm. When you find the crown, you've got, what is that, 3 or 4 chests in B3, and then 4 if you want to fight that Earth, and then 8 in B4 versus 24... basically free chests with the floater. It's not like you use the ship to go around.
Right. Well, that was my mentality. Was I'm already here. There's chests below my feet. They're not going to be that hard to get to. I've got what I need to get through wizards. Nothing in here is that dangerous. I think Artea pretty much already said that. So might as well.
And
there's an opal bracelet.
And Bismarck finds his opal bracelet. Gets it moved over to his black belt, and Duns, with an SRL time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 30 seconds, manages to dodge the 1.0.
Yes.
So GG to Bismarck, and we have a winner on screen, or a finisher on screen at least. And I think he just joined us in chat. Bismarck, is that you?
It's no one else.
So walk us through the seed and your 3 trips into Earth Cave.
I don't want to talk about it. Funny story. I actually, sorry, I was just told I'm being too loud by my wife. Yeah, we all know how that goes. I actually was originally planning on going to Earth Cave, but then the grind at the Peninsula Power is so easy. I'm like, well, damn, I'm already at like level 14. So I was like, well, I should at least go to the armory first, and then it just went south from there, and then I went and got the floater, and I was like, well, Artea finished really quick, maybe it's in the Zardia Isles, I'll shoot out there.
That's literally what I did too. I'm like, maybe he got floater and went to Zardia.
And I was like, well, damn, let's go back. I got the crown. I was like, oh, maybe he went there, got the crown in one trip, and then he went to, did all the crown chests and got it. Damn it.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I guarantee he didn't do the mermaids. I know he didn't do the Sky Tower, so Earth trip number 3, here we go.
Yeah, you found the slab at all in this?
I don't know where slab could have been. I'm assuming it was in Sea Shrine.
Yep,
but like I said in my comment, maybe Artea's not OP, but he's definitely the OG. I mean, like, I'm just impressed. Like, I'm not upset that I lost. I'm not bothered by it. I get it. I know exactly what I did wrong. But holy hell, Artea, like, how did you make the right decision? Like, what was your thought process? That's what I want to know.
No killing power, only instant death spells, so I'm not gonna go somewhere where magic resistance is high, and I don't really grind. I'd rather be on the move and check things, so I wasn't very high level at all. I got high enough off Zombles just to cast Zap on the pirates and then moved on.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I did that, and then I went back to the Peninsula Power. Like, I got to Elfland, and I was like, well, it could be nasty in Marsh Cave with Skill Shuffle and Script Shuffle.
Yeah.
So that was my thought process in going back. Because I got to Peninsula Power, or Elfland at like level 5, checked the spell shops, and I was like, well, there's nothing really here that's helpful, so I'm going to head back to Peninsula Power. And I mean, it only took me not even from the time I left Elfland to the time I got back to Elfland, 10 minutes, and I gained like 10 levels.
Yeah,
so
it was nice to have harm for that early on. But it sucked having to grind imps that like to run away just to get to level 2.
Oh, I didn't even bother. What did I kill? I killed something to get to level 2. That maybe it was mad ponies or something.
Mm.
Yeah, they weren't bad. That's what I killed. I got to level 2. And then I took the 1 charge of Harm 4 for both my red mages, ran up to the Peninsula Power, killed 1 Zombul party. Because, in the Peninsula Power, was it 4 out of the first 7 encounters were Zombul troll mixes. So,
Right.
I mean, with Fire 2 at level 3, as well as Harm 4 in level 2, dude, it was begging you to go there. And I took the bait, so... I'm not mad with how I played. I just wish I'd made better choices. But I mean, that's just one of those things. I mean,
Well, Bismarck, do also remember that this is a scavenger hunt. I mean, first.
Oh yeah, I'm not upset. I fully expected to lose Artea as soon as I saw him hit .join. He didn't listen because he's a jerk and he didn't wait to the 1 hour mark.
that would have been nice if he did, as I would have gotten something.
Speaking of marks, we have officially reached the 1:35-minute mark, so we are over our 1.0 time, so these racers cannot better their score at all. If they do finish, it is going to be a point of pride. There are 4 racers left. We have 3 finishes and 5 forfeits, so it's going to be interesting to see which way they go. We've got Files deep in the Ice Cave. We've got Ice Blue in the Marsh Cave. We have Zalnop checking crown chests, and we've got First C624 in the Earth Cave, but he's on Earth B1, I think.
Now, has First C gotten the floater out of there already?
Yes, First C does have his floater.
Okay.
See,
he does also have the rod.
Go ahead, please.
So speaking of go ahead, since all of our featured runners are done on screen or have forfeited on screen, except for the nice people in Melmon that are still wandering around enjoying their day, we'll go ahead and give our final thoughts here, and we'll give the channel back to Feasel. I think we'll just kind of go down the line here alphabetically, we'll start with Artea. Artea, any final thoughts before we sign off for the day?
Yeah, I mean, anyone watching the restream or just hung up on this race and like the just the massive time difference. I mean, it is a scavenger hunt. It was 95% luck probably. So I'm personally looking forward to getting back to some things that are a bit more execution based. I mean, on the whole, it is a randomizer, so there's always some element of luck involved, and it's JRPG on top of that. So, but I'm looking forward to future rounds. I'd recommend nobody really look at this round too closely as an indication of really anything.
Next up is Bismarck. Bismarck, as you sign off, I hope we didn't roll our bad RNG with your wife there.
Yeah, she'll get over it. Yeah, it's worth mentioning. I just got the stink eye. I had a speedrunner Hudson screaming percentage going on for about 2/3 of that race, including him sitting in my lap for a good 20 minutes of it. So that was fun, but I like I said, I'm not upset about it. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I can't be upset. He made the right choice. I didn't. I think I played well. I mean, considering I took the bait, I took the floater bait, and then I took the crown bait. I took the Peninsula Power bait. That's what the randomizer will do to you. I commentated the race earlier today. The exact same thing happened. Everybody took the bait. Them's the breaks. But it was a fun seed. I mean, I got tired of seeing monsters attack first, or monsters strike first, monsters strike first, monsters strike first, poison, poison, poison. But other than that, it was fun.
I'll take my my place here now. Sforzando, it was an absolute pleasure commentating with you again. This is a lot of fun to watch people sort of run off in different directions, looking for one item. It's not something I would want people to have to do every day, but it is enjoyable from a commentating standpoint and from a viewership standpoint to have something a little different. So thanks being here. Thanks for everybody else being here as well. And we'll pass it over to Len.
I just want to give a big GG's to Artea and Will for figuring this race out. Good job, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Will, what do you want to say to us?
One of these days, it'll be a first place finish and not a second place mile out of first. I really, really want that triple zero. I really do, but it is not to be yet. So,
All right, is Sforzando anything before we sign off?
Stay tuned to Speed Gaming for more Speed Gaming action. The next Final Fantasy Randomizer race will be in about 3 hours. That is going to be 1 a.m. Eastern, midnight Central. That is going to be race number, I think, 7 of this stage flags.
His park screen.
I figured it out, Lynn. I just want to point that out. Yeah, that's how I felt when I found it. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But to all the runners, to Speed Gaming, thank you. Feasel, thank you. To the viewers, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, give Speed Gaming a follow. Give these runners a follow. If you want more of this content, let us know, and we'll certainly work hard to put out better and better products, better and better races, and we certainly look forward to growing with this community.
All right, that's it for everyone then. And so on behalf of Sforzando, I'm Mick Maya. You can just call me Maya. And thank you, Feasel, and thank you, Speed Gaming. Everybody have a great evening.
Good night, everybody.